Wheelchair basketball is one of the most popular sports in the disability community. Founded during World War II by veterans, the sport allows players with various degrees of paralysis to compete in sports with able-bodied athletes. In 2017, Indiana University and the members of the School of Public Health created IU's first adaptive sports program, the Wheelchair Basketball Team.
I wrote about my passion, and the professor kind of brought me in, and they were looking at writing a grant for adaptive sports. I kind of knew the verbiage, I knew what needed to be used, and as I started editing and working with these individuals, I started understanding this movement, this purpose, this intent, and really the need to increase accessibility, inclusion, and advocacy. We're a basketball school. It is a traditional Indiana thing. It is ingrained in everybody's history that basketball is a thing that we do, we're very good at. But I think in the larger picture, wheelchair basketball is one of the biggest adaptive sports out there. It's an international sport, and it provides ability for not just our age, not just older, but younger individuals to get access to sport. And, we look at that as a human right. If we can create that here in Indiana, a very traditional thing, a very important thing to Indiana, then of course we have to do that.
Adaptive sports allows the community at large to come together. You don't have to be disabled to compete. The majority of the game and rules are the same. It brings people together from all walks of life playing the sport they love.
I'd say we really bridge that gap, especially in the student population, with those who have physical disabilities and those that don't. I don't have a physical disability, and neither does most of the team. There are currently 2 players on our team that have any type of physical disability, but when we're all in the chairs, you don't know who's who. And so it really does make that connection with students who have never maybe had an experience with someone who has a physical disability, and then those who that's their everyday, day in, day out. It brings those people together, and you don't know the difference. It breaks that stereotype, and I genuinely can say anyone who has sat in the chair once has always come back. There's not that many differences besides the fact that we're in a chair. It really is the same sport, and I think that's a lot of the confusion maybe that some people have. They wonder, how do you dribble, or do you have a shorter hoop? No, we do not, and we don't want it to be easier. That's kind of the point of an adaptive sport too. You're only altering the rules as much as needed to fit the population that's playing it.
A lot of the game, especially the competitiveness, I think that's where a lot of people, they get really scared and they're like, I don't know if I can compete. But trust me, it's actually a lot more competitive. It is a lot more intense in a lot of situations.
I think it's just one of those sports that translates really easily. It's high intensity, high cardio, a lot of competitiveness, and basketball. It's just one of those sports where able-bodied or wheelchair basketball, and it's one of the more, able-bodied basketball being one of the more popular sports in the world. I think I was searching for some competitive drive. I was searching for some physical exertion, which I had always that's something in sports that it's not like the main driver, but that was just something I had always really enjoyed. So I think I've just been craving that competition and enjoying kind of being pushed physically to my limits. That's what kind of drove me. It's not for everyone, and I think that's what's great about the rec club is that it brings in people from all over. There are some people that can come in and we're just having fun, and that's great. And there's some people who come in and sometimes the games got more serious, and it was a really nice blend, but that's what I was missing.
Building the community has been a difficult but rewarding challenge for the basketball team. Some of the biggest challenges is accessibility in buildings and allowing the wheelchair community to access not just the practice space, but campus in general.
We're thankful that we have a space that includes people who have disabilities, but at the same time, that should just be built into the system. It's 2022. Inclusion isn't just race, gender, sexuality. It's disability and ability as well. So it should just be something that is a no-brainer, you'd think, for a university, but we are the only adapted recreation team on campus.
Conversation obviously has to happen around these things. When we talk about diversity and inclusion, very often when we talk about inclusion, we're very much excluding those with disabilities. We have to be present and visible. And if we're not present and visible, we don't talk about those things. And so when we are visible and present, conversations happen. And those conversations have to happen not just at the student level, they have to happen at the top. We've got individuals that are exposed to this stuff, but we don't have the conversations. And so when we look at how do we move this forward, how do we have these conversations, it's being more present at student events. It's being more present at classes. It's showing up and talking about, hey, this is really cool. We have this wheelchair basketball program. What else could we do?
If nothing else, I think that's a really important program to have at IU because it is the kind of the face of accessibility at the school, and it does a good job of accommodating a lot of people and their needs, and it just provides a lot more diversity to the school.
What a cool experience to play basketball with your friends, right? And I think that's what you gain. It's no longer, can I play basketball with my friend, or what can I do with my friend? This creates the opportunity to play sports with them. And what an amazing integral part of being human that I don't have to ask, what sport can we play? Hey, let's just go play basketball.